Okay, you guys, I am getting over a cold, so bear with me. My voice is a little scratchy, but that is okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to get started on these honey barbecue meatballs. I have about 24 ounces to 32 ounces of meatballs. I'm also going to put in a third of a cup of this blueberry preserves. Any type of jelly or preserve is fine. I'm also going to put in half a cup of honey, and we're just going to add it right on top of our jelly. I've done strawberry jelly or blueberry or mixed berry, and they all turn out really, really wonderful. I'm also going to put in 1 cup of barbecue sauce and put the lid on and let that cook on a low heat for about 3 hours. This is what it'll look like. It is so good. And a lot of times the barbecue sauce kind of ends up being runny, like the sauce becomes runny. This one is not so. It has a very thick consistency. I love using this brand of blueberry preserve. It is amazing and the flavor was just on point. Next, we're going to be doing this orange cranberry dip, which I have shown you in other videos, but I love it and it's great for the holiday season. In a large bowl, we have 1 block of cream cheese, 1 cup of just mango bits or apricot bits, whatever you guys prefer. And then I have a third of a cup of cranberries, just dry cranberries, and then 2 tablespoons of orange juice, also a teaspoon of orange zest, and then just go ahead and give that a good stir. If you really like the orange flavor, I do suggest adding maybe 2 teaspoons of orange zest. I just think it needed just a little bit more. And then I have these like chicken and biscuit crackers that I dipped with it. I think club crackers, Ritz crackers would be really good with this. This is very, very thick, so do keep that in mind. This is phenomenal. You definitely want to try this dip, especially during the holiday season. All right, little smokies are my go-to when it comes to appetizers for any type of party event. So here I have 24 ounces of little smokies. I'm just going to put the bottom of my crock pot, and I love putting in the crock pot just because that just makes life so much easier, and they always turn out really well. I'm going to put in 1 bottle of this chili sauce, and then I'm going to put in a whole container of jelly. I had this was about 3/4 of a container, and then I end up putting just a little bit more of another container in there. But you need about 16 ounces of any type of jam or jelly spread. And the strawberry actually tasted really well. I was a little iffy if it was going to taste okay, but it tasted fine. So just add what you have on hand, y'all. Go ahead and give that a good stir. Put the lid on and let that cook on a low heat for about 2 to 3 hours. Do make sure it is low, otherwise you're going to scorch your little smokies and they are going to taste burnt. Look at these. The sauce is nice and thick. Oh my goodness, this is so, so delicious. It turns out perfect every single time. You guys, this is like a go-to recipe for y'all. Do make sure to make this one. Okay, this is one dish that you will want to make over and over again. It is an amazing appetizer. It's just good for any type of holiday function. What you're going to do is in a medium-sized bowl, put in 3/4 a cup of spinach that you went ahead and chopped up. I'm also going to put in half a cup of ricotta cheese and then 1.5 cups of Parmesan cheese. Next, we're going to throw in 1/4 a cup of mayonnaise. And then just a couple tablespoons of minced up garlic. And then we're going to throw in 1 block of cream cheese. All right, and then just go ahead and stir that up. It is easier if you have softened cream cheese. It just makes this process a lot easier. Also, you can switch out ricotta cheese for cottage cheese. I think the results are going to be very, very similar. And really, you can't even taste the ricotta or the cottage cheese. It just makes the dish really, really cheesy. All right, with our biscuits, I'm just going to chop them in half, and then we're just going to roll them up into little balls like this. So you should have about 16 of these little balls after you are done cutting up your biscuits. And then I went ahead and lightly greased, I think it's a 10-inch skillet, and just kind of laying them at the very edge there. All right, and I did make sure that my skillet is nice and greased. I like to grease mine with bacon grease. We're going to take our spinach and cheese mixture, and we're just going to put that right in the middle. And we're just going to make sure it's nice and even. You can spread it out to the biscuits. That's completely fine. All right, and then I just have about a couple tablespoons of olive oil, and I'm just going to put olive oil all over my biscuits. Of course, I think putting some butter would be really good since this is biscuits. Butter and biscuits just go well together. I'm going to take another tablespoon, or maybe 2 tablespoons of Parmesan cheese and just put that right on top of the biscuits. And then we're also going to take another couple tablespoons and just put it right in on our spinach mixture. All right, and then let that cook at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. This is what it'll look like when it is all done. Just look at those biscuits. They are amazing, but this spinach dip is fantastic. You do not want to skip over this recipe. It is so delicious. Next is going to be this pepper jelly dip. So good. Very hard to say though. In a pie plate, this is about an 8-inch pie plate. I have 1 block of cream cheese, and then I have about 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese and just about 3 to 4 tablespoons of chives, or about 2 stems of chives. And then go ahead and just mix that together, and then just make sure it's nice and level. I have 3 Ritz crackers that I went ahead and just crushed up, and then I'm just gonna make sure that that's a nice even layer on top. I also have about 6 strips of bacon that I went ahead and chopped up as well, and I'm just gonna make sure that that is nice and even. All right, I'm gonna put this in the oven at 350 for about 30 minutes. After it is done cooking and cooled just a little bit, I'm going to go ahead and add in about 1/4 cup of pepper jelly and just microwave it for about 30 seconds until it's a little bit more on the runny side. And then I'm just putting a nice thin layer all over that cheese dip, or you can kind of just leave it how it is, completely up to you. My pepper dip is very spicy. It's more of an habanero type of a dip, so it was very, very spicy, but my husband loved this. He said this was his favorite dip that I have made so far. It was phenomenal. The flavors are on point. It is definitely a great holiday appetizer. Okay, if you guys love those Hawaiian sliders with the ham and the Swiss, you guys are going to love this. What we're going to do is, in a small saucepan, I'm going to go ahead and melt 4 tablespoons of butter and then 1 teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce. I'm also going to add about a tablespoon of honey mustard, or you can add Dijon mustard. I'm also going to add in 1 teaspoon of garlic powder and 1/2 teaspoon of onion powder. Go ahead and give that a good mix and just let it set off to the side to just thicken up just a little bit. All right, I have about 1 pound of ham and 1 pound of Swiss cheese, and I'm just going to cut those up into little cubes. We have our Ritz crackers, and I'm only going to use about 40 in total. We're going to make about 20 different sandwiches. So I'm just layering out my Ritz crackers, and then I'm going to put a bottom layer of ham. I do about 2 to 3 little blocks of it, and then 1 little block of Swiss cheese. And of course you can use Swiss cheese or provolone. Those would be my go-tos. You can do American, but I just feel like real cheese would be a lot better for you. But of course, to each their own. And then we're just going to put that mixture just right on top of our Ritz crackers. And then I'm going to put just a little bit of minced onion just right on top, just to give it a little bit more flavor. And then I'm also going to put in some poppy seed, probably about another 1/2 teaspoon just right on top of those crackers. All right, and then I'm going to put this in the oven at 350 for about 8 minutes. I just want to make sure that those get nice and toasty, and they are looking so delicious. I love the flavor on these. These have amazing flavor. I never would have thought to do these with crackers, but they are great appetizers, and they are so cute, and they are so delicious. Up next is a irresistible jalapeno corn dip. This one is phenomenal. In our slow cooker, you can just do like a medium-sized slow cooker. I'm going to put in 1 block of cream cheese and half a cup of sour cream. Next, we're going to add 3 cans of corn. Do make sure that you go ahead and drain off any excess water. I also have 2 large jalapenos that I went ahead and diced up. And then I'm going to put in 1 teaspoon of garlic powder, half a teaspoon of chili powder, 1 teaspoon of salt. I'm also going to add in 1.5 cups of shredded cheese, and this one's just a Colby Jack cheese. Go ahead and put the lid on and let that cook on a low heat for about 2 to 3 hours. Next, I'm going to add half a cup of chopped up bacon and then just give that a good stir. This doesn't come out very spicy at all. I was very pleasantly surprised. I was really worried that it was going to be extra spicy, but it was not. It has amazing flavor. And of course, if you wanted to add some type of like cilantro to the top of it, that would enhance this dip even more so. We just paired this with some tortilla chips. Seriously, so delicious. Great to bring for any type of party function. All right, it is not a holiday function without some type of dessert, so we are going to be making this cherry cheesecake. I love this one. It is so good, and everybody loves it whenever I bring it, so this one is just a go-to when it comes to any type of dessert for the holidays, especially Christmas time. In a large mixing bowl or measuring cup, I have half a cup of melted butter, and then I have about a cup to a cup and a half of graham cracker crumbs, and of course you can do your own crumbs, or I like to use this box of already ready to go graham cracker crumbs, and I'm just going to make sure it's nice and level. I like a pretty good thick layer of that crust. If you like thin, that's completely up to you. You can use less crumbs. I just love it when it's a little bit more on the thick side. All right, go ahead and set that off to the side. And in a large mixing bowl, I have 2 blocks of cream cheese, 2/3 a cup of granulated sugar, and then I have 8 ounces of Cool Whip that I'm just going to go ahead and mix that together. If you are using Philadelphia cream cheese, it is going to come out very, very thick and creamy. Any other type of cream cheese, it's a little bit on the lumpy side, but trust me, it's still real good. I've done it both ways, and they both turn out delicious, so don't even worry if it's a little bit on the clumpy side. I go ahead and make sure it's nice and even on top, and it is very, very thick, so do keep that in mind that it is supposed to be thick. For toppings, I like to do cherry. I've done blueberry in the past, strawberry rhubarb. I've done my own type of topping where I make it myself. I've done like a mixed berry. Really, you cannot go wrong with any of those. They all taste amazing. But traditionally for Christmas time, I love to do a cherry cheesecake. So, so good. And here it is. It is ready to go. You can also put it in the fridge for a couple hours, and I think that just helps make the cream cheese just kind of stiffen up a bit. This is ready to go. It is so good. It's a no bake. You cannot go wrong with something super easy for Christmas time. Next, I wanted to share with you caramel apple pretzels. And yes, this is good for fall time, but I think it's good for any time. It is great with kids. They just absolutely love it. I've made it several different times. My kids and other kids just love them. So if you are going to a party and there's lots of kids, I definitely suggest doing these. Of course, you don't have to do the fall pretzels, but you can just do regular ones and they love it. We're just going to put down some pretzels on a cookie sheet. And then I have a bag of caramels that I'm going to go ahead and just put right on top of our pretzels. I'm going to go ahead and place that in the oven at 250 degrees for about 5 minutes. I just really want to get those caramels just a little bit melted. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit. While that is cooking, I have 1 apple and I'm just going to dice it up into small bite-sized pieces. I'm also going to take a medium bowl and I just put some lemon in there. There's like maybe a cup and a half of water with about a tablespoon of lemon. You can also do a little bit of salt. Salt water is great. That's just going to help those apples make sure that they're not going to get brown. And I just let them soak for about 5 minutes. And now I'm just going to take them out and let them just try to get all of that water off of the apples, because you don't want to put watery apples onto your caramels and it'll just get your pretzels soggy.
All right, you want to try one? It hits the spot. All right. Does it need anything? Perfect. All right.
Next, I'm going to be making this Little Debbie dip, and before you dismiss this, just hang on tight. It's actually really good. What first we're going to do is we're going to get these Little Debbie tree cakes, and we're going to put them all into a medium to large size bowl. There should be about 5 of them. You can grab the larger box of them, but I'm just using the small box. I'm also going to take 6 ounces of cream cheese and then 1/4 a cup of heavy whipping cream, or half and half will work fine as well. I'm also going to do a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and we're just going to go ahead and whip that all together. And it's going to come out a little bit on the lumpy side, but that's perfectly normal. All right, once it is all whipped together, I'm going to grab some Cool Whip, and we are going to just fold in some Cool Whip to this little mixture that we made. So I just put in half a container, so about 4 ounces of Cool Whip, and I'm just going to fold that in gently. All right, and that is it. You can put in sprinkles with the mixture, but I'm actually just going to put it right on top. So I have this cute holiday festive sprinkles that I'm going to put right on top. This is great with some vanilla wafers, some Teddy Grahams, or graham crackers. I just did some Teddy Grahams because that's what we had on hand. This is so rich and creamy. Y'all definitely need to make this one.
Thanks so much for watching this video. I hope that you enjoy it. I hope that you guys are in the mood and ready for all of the Christmas baking and cooking. I have so many meals lined up for you guys, so many videos lined up for you guys. We are going to be doing some awesome cooking this Christmas season, so be prepared. Make sure you stay tuned and that you are subscribed to my channel so that way you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. I'd love to have you here on this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.